The invisible guest is never a victim, never a beggar, never a slave, and always secure. They are free to love. If we feel we can be harmed, love becomes less. Insecurity leads to stress, anger, sadness, and envy. Below the line is the physical world with all the people, possessions. The invisible traveler visits the physical world. He associates with many things but is independent. 100% of sorrow, vices, and problems are connected with this world, but it is the mindset of the victim and the beggar, born of false identification with the things of the physical world. There is an option for a radically different perspective. Seeing this physical world as a story on a stage. Then the invisible traveler experiences love, peace, happiness, security, and creativity. Experiencing what is beyond the home of fullness, happiness, beyond harm and needs. Really appreciate this one aspect of choice, and it's been highlighted also by some of the discussions I've heard in the rooms, that we realize we have a choice in the way that we see. I wonder if you've enjoyed the homework or have any experiences. 10 times for 1 minute. At least it's ongoing homework for all of us, myself included. The option to step back, becoming more aware, and then this freedom that we have access to, that's one thought away. I'm going to hand over now to Prashant, and good evening.
Thank you, and hello, and good evening. The quick summary, we heard already, and today we'll be going to a subject of psychodrama, seeing our life and then our journey, and the inner journey also in the form of a story. Quick revision of what we heard so far. Coming back repeatedly to the first positioning of all of us, that we want harmony, we all want a good quality of life, we want to be useful to ourselves, useful to others. It is also obvious we can be useful to the extent we are in clarity. If a person is confused, he is not useful to others. If your surgeon is confused, you won't ask him to get an operation done. First thing for us that is come out of confusion. We are seeing that we are gradually drawn into this confusion as time has passed, and we saw our life with this image of this physical world. This is where our journey is. We have a home, but our experience is over here. And there is lots of glitter, gold, song, lots of things going on here. And there is power and potential for these wonderful souls to get deceived. And over a period of time, we all are deceived. This is what we have seen so far. Then reaches a place where we don't know that we don't know. We are into darkness, but that appears normal. This such is our present condition. That's what we saw. And in such a state, we are as if we're getting drawn into the camel and elephant drama. To act in a drama is not wrong. Peter is acting as camel, and that is fun. But when Peter starts thinking he's the camel, that is really a crisis. If your friend was to think like this, he's acting in a drama, thinks he's camel, you will call a doctor. But here, we are not calling a doctor. Why not? Do you want to tell? Here, there is the same situation going on here. False identity means that they really believe that they are the role they are acting, and they have completely forgotten about themselves. Why you don't call a doctor?
We think it is normal. It has become normal. That's one answer. Maybe the doctor is also in the same boat.
That's right. Doctor, the whole society is in that state.
Someone wrote, we don't know that we don't know, and no one sees anything is wrong.
Yes. And so, and it is literally like that. Doctor thinks he's the elephant. So there is not lots of hope in that hospital. So that's why we need a spiritual hospital here, spiritual doctor. And for us in that state, we are trying to grasp this from that state having crossed the line. So that's why we need that revision, reminders. We get a glimpse of it, we might lose it, and we, the wisest amongst us will be those who keep keep a punctuality in a regular consistency. Every day, if you are creating these few minutes, we are talking of something like 5 minutes every day, coming back to the basics, that is like then you are a winner. And that if there is too much gap, then this darkness, it appears normal. And there is a chance we might get drawn into ordinariness again. To help us keep this journey upward, we need consistency. But most important, accuracy. Whatever we have understood ourselves, worth making a note of it and coming back to it again and again. Now we are going to come to a story. This story is going to take time. That's why I'm starting soon. And but before starting the story, I like to create a few minutes of experience. And our experience is always with the easy way to come to the experience. Use paras. Game changes instantly. The moment we use paras, we understand here is the camel elephant story. What we saw since morning is a story. Even right now, Prashant is talking here, all this is happening in the story. And this story, there is nothing to complain about and nothing to be concerned about. Story has different episodes and it has got dragons and it has got variety jokers. That's the way the story is. Story is harmless. Paras helps us to come beyond the story. Story is not the only reality. For Patthar, he is locked into the story. All our false identities, they are locked in the story. But when we are seeing Paras, we realize there is the real world beyond the story. Right now, with eyes open or eyes closed, we come to that sky, sky beyond. World of complete silence. This world is timeless, very different to the story. Timeless, endless, changeless. This is the home of the family. They all are like living stars. They all are immortal. They all are noble, naturally noble. Anyone who knows of the immortality naturally becomes one who is desireless and egoless, viceless. He has not gone in that box and created bondages. That's why noble, when there is no desire even, and when there is no ego, no false identities, and knows of his immortality and absolute security, he remains noble. In this world, all are like this, immensely lovely. They know they are beyond harm in an absolute way. Nothing from anywhere can harm them, even the slightest. They are beyond harm and they are harmless. You can say they are childlike. This level of security and immortality allows them become totally innocent. They are childlike and they are godlike. Always. This environment helps the true self. True self wakes up in this environment, understands that his form is like a star, tiny point. Understands it is normal for him to be immortal. It is normal to belong to this supreme sky. He understands complete independence from the story. Finds it strange that anyone would go in the story and create all kinds of bondages. The temporary story finds it strange. As we continue on the journey, we remember this immensely beautiful truth of everyone. All are good, all have the immortal home, they belong to the great family, and for them this journey, the story, the, the theater is an extra gift. It is extra. Whatever that is extra, there are no complaints about it. Thank you. We are coming to this story, and we said it is like a psychodrama, showing us what is happening in the mind in the form of the story. And this story is based on the epic from India, which means it was more than 2000 years in the past. And epic is different. I'm not suggesting we buy and read that epic, but we are showing the spiritual meaning behind that story. In this story, there are few characters. One character is called Sita. Sita is shown as a queen, and then she's virtuous, beautiful, happy. She is married to the king, and the name of the king is Ram. Ram is wise, strong, uh, perfect in everything, perfect son, perfect brother, perfect king. Whole world loves Ram. Sita is representing the soul, and Ram is representing God. We are just using these images. Story will not be complete without the third character, and the third character is called Ravan, the bad guy. Ravan is the king of the demons, and the tendency of the demon becomes demon because they deal with sorrow. Take sorrow, give sorrow. That is what makes demons. And Ravan is the king of the demons. Ravan wants to give sorrow to Sita. That is the nature of Ravan. But he cannot give sorrow to Sita because of this barrier. There is a line. As long as Sita is behind the line, Ravan cannot do anything to Sita. What is this line? Or what would you call this line?
Looks quite familiar. Any thoughts?
Is there any name for this line? Have you seen?
Line of from limited to unlimited, a line of ignorance, and then Hindi Lakshman Rekha, I think, in those who know the epic.
Yeah, in our so far we were referring to the line of ignorance, dotted line, remember? So in scriptures, it is called Lakshman. Lakshman is the one who drew that line in the story. So the Sita is safe if she stays behind the line. But we are seeing that it is the line of ignorance. If behind that line is wisdom, clarity, as long as Sita is behind that line, she's safe. Ravan can do nothing. The moment she crosses the line, comes into ignorance, then there is no protection, and then free fall once you cross that line. That is the understanding. Now, Ravan is the king of demons and he is king in ignorance, in a full darkness. He is the king of that. But he's clever in one thing, how to get others into ignorance. That is his uniqueness. That's why he's the king. He can bring others cross the line. He attends all your management programs and he's always sitting on the front row. Now he tries different things. One time he sends a golden deer, and the golden deer is outside that line. Does it look like a deer? Maybe it looks like a tail. So here is the golden deer. Sita says, wow, deer, golden deer, she just need to cross the line once and she can get the deer and can come back behind the line. There's too many restrictions. Don't cross this line and don't do this. So she crosses the line. And what happens once you cross the line? You are in darkness, and in darkness, you do more mistakes. It is not so easy from darkness to find a way into light. So now she finds herself in the world of Ravan. She gets kidnapped. And now she's in the world of Ravan. And her first posting is she's the slave. Slave to whom? Slave to Ravan. And Ravan is not just the ordinary monster. Ravan has got 10 heads. And these different heads need different things. So many, many heads, and they all need different things. And Sita is the slave. Sita has to run to please her master. As an example, this head wants cigarettes. You can see the cigarette in his. So he says, slave, he just need to signal cigarettes, and the slave has to get in the car, go at the fastest speed to the nearest express tobacconist and bring the supplies to her boss. And boss is happy. He's a good slave. Is that the end of the problem of Sita? What happens next?
It's not the end. There are 9 other heads.
Okay. So there are other heads, but this head, which is, looking, banging the table for cigarettes, he gets the supplies. Now that head gets bigger. This cigarette is like the food for that head. And the bigger Ravan wants more cigarettes. So he is asking more. See, the slave has to run faster to get the cigarette. And more you give him, bigger the demon. Demon gets bigger. It doesn't get solved. Problem is made worse. All that Sita wants is some peace with this monster. This monster is harassing, so give him what he wants, but it doesn't solve the problem. Ravan gets bigger and the problem gets bigger. And and now Sita is the only slave. Sita has to deal with the bigger monster. And now there are 9 other heads. So one head wants cigarettes. What second head wants? You can tell. One head wants cigarettes. And second head.
So let's see. Drinks.
And then the third head.
Meat wants love from somebody. Drugs, alcohol. Alcohol is quite popular. It's New Year's Eve.
These different heads, they need different things, agreed. One head needs alcohol. One head may need just another person. He's trapped into another. He can't stop thinking about that person or wants that other person to be next. Otherwise, he's angry. One head wants position and promotion. If he doesn't get it, he's angry. And another head wants can be chocolate cake. One head wants lust and one head wants bigger head.
TV, better clothes. Other
Yes, yes. So what are all these heads? What do they represent? We saw that line represents line of ignorance, and we saw Sita represents the soul.
So some are writing desires, some are writing ego, and also vices.
And what is behind the vices? And what is behind desires?
Maybe the pata intellect or body consciousness, attachment, temporary happiness, insecurity, feeling of emptiness or greed, sin.
We saw yesterday, those false identities. You remember? Small I. These are those different hates. If we see that image we used, this is a story world. This is a foreign world for the invisible traveler. Story is not your world. Story is separate, and the invisible traveler is passing through this story. But in that confusion, what he's doing, he's trapped in this story in different ways. So all these hates, from the Ravan's hates, they're trapped with different things. One hate is trapped with sugar, one hate is trapped with cigarettes, one hate is trapped with another person, but person from the story. He's not thinking about the souls. One head is trapped with position. One head is trapped with hat or clothes, and Ravan is there behind. Which means Ravan will get angry. He is ready to give sorrow if he doesn't get it. That is Ravan. So all these different heads, 10 heads. This story was written more than 2000 years in the past. That time, Ravan had only 10 heads. Ravan can create more heads also. So Ravan of today will have more than 10 heads. So this is the story now. And all the heads are getting bigger, and Ravan creates more heads, and Sita is the slave. As was said, all that Sita wants is some peace, but problem is getting worse. It is becoming a bigger monster. Some dictators, in history, you will get a similar pattern. Some other countries or their people try to create peace with this dictator. They give him what he wants, but the dictator gets worse. His ego gets worse. He now got more guns and more bombs, and you have to face a bigger problem. You have to face the music with this worse dictator. Something similar here. Ravan is a demon. He is not a dictator. He's a demon, and Sita is in this situation. Ram sends a message to Sita. Ram says, "You are in trouble here, but I am Almighty. I can free you." In the kingdom of Ravan, there is sorrow, different kinds of sorrow. In the kingdom of Ram, there is zero sorrow, no concept of sorrow, all kinds. Sorrow, it includes boredom and anxiety and mm, irritation, any smallest. These are all different sorrows. In the kingdom of Ram, there is no concept of any of these things. That's why it is a world of happiness. Happiness comes with friends. It's a world of eternal contentment and eternal joy and wisdom. Such is the kingdom of Ram. Kingdom of Ravan, all this going on. So Ram sends a message. I can free you, but there is a but. He says there is a condition. He puts a condition. He loves Sita. Ram cannot do anything else. Nature of Ram is like the absolute good. And so he loves regardless of what his Sita crosses the line, Sita doesn't cross the line, he loves. So he says, out of this love, he wants to help. But there is a condition. What is the condition?
It's a good question. Might need a few moments for that.
Yeah.
Feels like it should be unconditional. She must let go of being a slave. That she must trust. She has to connect with him. And she has to ask for help herself. And also follow what he says.
Sure. Here the condition is that she wants to be free. That is all. She takes a decision to be free from Ravan. Do you want to be free? That is the question. He understands there is a problem here, and that Ravan is a monster and it can't be solved by the method Sita is using. Ram may understand it, but here the condition is Sita need to take the decision. If Sita doesn't want, Ram is happy not to interfere. It is a bit like, some person may have some tumor and doctor says, I can operate on you. You will be completely free. It is a straightforward matter. But give a signature, sign the consent. And a patient can say, no, I don't want the operation. And then doctor will say, okay, that is end of it. Doctor cannot go and with a knife and say, I'm doing the operation. And it is royal and it is noble to have that position. And that's, the patient has a choice. So also here, Ram says, I can free you, but you take the decision. Is it easy? Is it easy for Sita to decide to be free from Ravan? Who thinks it is easy? Is it an easy decision? As we said before, this is a psychodrama that is happening in everyone's head. Each and every person in your town, this is the same psychodrama. There is no anything else. So do you think it is easy to take a decision?
A very interesting question. One response, it seems easy. Another, no.
Okay, let me put it differently. The choice is between be the slave to Ravan or queen to Ram. This is a choice. Is it a difficult decision? Sita has to decide either be the slave to Ravan or queen to Ram.
No. And one response, because she's been programmed by Ravan. Queen to Ram should be easy.
Easy.
She
Okay, if it is
recognizes Ram as easy. It depends whether she's formed an attachment.
sure. That as was said, if it is easy, then all the Sitas in your town, they should they should be saying yes, we want to be free. Have you tried asking some Sitas, some of your friends, to become free from Ravan? See if they want to be free from Ravan. New Year's resolution. You can give them an option. New Year's resolution is to be free from Ravan. Starting from now, so no party tonight. Tell your friends. And so if it is difficult, why is it difficult? The truth is that Ravan has got an assistant, and the name of the assistant is Madame Maya. Some of these words you will come across, later in the literature, spiritual writing. So this word Maya will come quite often. So this Maya is intelligence in Ravan's administration. Maya is absolutely loyal to Ravan. Absolute, she's a right hand, but intelligent also. That's why Ravan gives her the most important task. Most important department is given to Maya. And what's the department? In that Maya is asked, do anything, but don't let Sita take this decision. Because if Sita takes the decision, Ram helps and Ravan loses a slave. So the task for Maya is you can try any method. Ravan has got complete full freedom to Maya. But don't let Sita take this decision. So Maya goes to the world of Sita, becomes a good friend of Sita, and Sita likes her very much. Sita likes Maya. So Sita appoints her as the main advisor. So each time Sita wants to take any decision, she sends a message, WhatsApp message to Maya, if she should take this decision, and she gets a reply straight away. Maya is a very good friend and very good advisor. As an example, so Sita might decide, I should stop smoking. This new year is a good time. New Year's resolution. So I should stop smoking because I can't, breathe properly. This smell, I don't like the smell of cigarettes. My one lung is removed, and so for all these reasons, I should stop smoking. Sita has taken this decision. Maya says, good decision, but there's a but. Maya likes this word but very much. It is very difficult. So many people find it difficult. So why do you want to waste your time just struggling with this? Another time Maya says, you are weak. You tried to give it up. In the past, you failed. So why go into that at all? Another time Maya says, it's a long process. It will take a long time, years. So just gradually, slowly catch the monkey. Another time Maya says, do it later. Don't rush at this. Think about it properly. You know, after 1 month, you will have a better idea whether you really want to do it. New Year's parties and all. Let these parties finish and then you do it. Do it another time. Another time, Maya has got corporate lawyers working for it to think of excuses, different kinds of excuses, all clever. You get in this context, cigarettes, you get excuses in that cigarette kills the bacteria. If they are bad for me, they should be bad for bacteria. And or cigarettes help you reduce weight. All kinds of clever excuses. And another set of lawyers working on creating doubts. Something that is so obvious. Next day, Maya will say, I am not clear about it. You are back in square one. Maya is determined, as was said, Maya is absolute loyal to Ravan, and Maya will try every trick that is possible. Maya and Ravan have got no moral ground. They can go to any level, Maya and Ravan. So there is nothing that can prevent Maya from doing things. It will do anything to create problems. But all that matters for Maya is keep her the slave. So any of you, have you seen any Maya in your town? Is there Maya?
Yes, many, lots.
Good news is Maya has got limited cards. Once you understand Maya's form, then you win. You can stop Maya. You are understanding. Okay, Maya can come in this form. This is Maya's form. This is Maya's. Maya has not got unlimited cards. Ravan can create many heads, more heads, new kinds of heads. But Maya has got limited cards. Okay, what is the form of Maya in the West? Or I can say in the cities. What is the form of Maya? Any of this can come anywhere. This Maya can come in any form. What is the form of Maya in the cities?
Consumerism, pomp and show, advertising, lots of angry people using anger to get what they want, money.
The word I'm looking for is being busy. Maya keeps you busy, and your when person likes also to be seen as busy, and he wants he involves himself in so many things. So he's so busy, he doesn't even know now what why he's busy even. He has got no time to find out what has happened to him. He has crossed the line. He is working for Ravan, enemy. He has no time even to see what he is doing even. And whether he is doing anything for himself or whether he's creating problem to himself, he's busy running around. And he has just created excitement of remaining busy. So when you are coming to this, our story again, what you are seeing is that there is a game going on in our head. In each and everyone's head, there is a game going on. And this game is between Maya and Ravan on one side, and Sita and Ram on the other side. That's the game. In each and everyone's head, this is like whether they are interested in spiritual matters, they are in young, old, in each, everyone. There is Ravan there is Maya there is a line there. This game is going on. And like in any game, there are winners and losers. Every game has winners, losers. So also in this game, there are winners and losers. Like in every game, there are prizes and penalties. So also in this game, there are prizes and penalties. Just one difference, prizes are real and penalties are also real. In other game, even the international games, in a big game, prize will be some medal, maybe a gold medal, but a medal. That is the prize. Finished. Penalty may be a red card. That is the penalty. In this game, prizes are your birth, the life itself is of, whatever that happens in our life, there is a reason behind it. And it is because it is decided by this score, by this game. If there is some misery in the world, some sometimes you might see the lives of some individuals. It is like the extreme misery, and why does it happen? Same day someone else is born, has a different kind of life. Is it just chance? Is it just random? Someone is born into some total misery, someone is born in some special family. Is it random? Spiritual knowledge says that nothing is random. There are reasons. And the reasons are, what is the score? Is Ravan winning or is Sita winning? Has Sita got a good score? Then no one can change it. The prizes, no one can deny you the prizes. If Ravan has got a score, then there are penalties. So this is we get an idea. That's why this story is, there is a nice word used to describe this story. And I liked it, that word. And that word is Raz. And Raz has got a meaning in this context. It is hidden. Story is hidden. It is not obvious. How many people know this game going on? They don't even know that they are in the game. So there is a game, but it is a incognito game, but it is very significant. This game decides everything of ours. Sometimes some people ask, someone is in such misery, someone is it God who gave them the birth like this? Or is it God who gives them the prize? Is there someone there in the sky deciding about our births? This story tells that no, God doesn't need to be involved in this. This self deciding mechanism, this story. There is just this story, there is a game, and this game, each one plays the game, each one scores, each one gets the prizes, each one gets the penalties. There is a like a automatic mechanism there. And and once you have understood this, then you can be, we got something to plan. We understand. Oh, that's why the Raz, it is significant, it is secret, it is hidden, but there is a game, and it is good for us to know that game, and then we can do something about this. Feel free if you want to add anything, say anything. Do you like this game? This is ongoing game. People like sport, in different form. I don't know if in that they should give prize in Olympics. They should consider this game in Olympics. What is happening and what is the score in this game?
We enjoy a game when we know the rules. So it's an interesting question. Some interesting comments. Someone wrote earlier, Sita got used to Ravan. Her mind is not hers. So we don't know the game. Quite a profound statement, but to have the grasp of the game. Someone quoted the American artist, protect me from what I want. That's Jenny Holzer. Also very interesting. So protect Sita asking for protection in a sense. As someone wrote, Sita needs to realize she is a slave to Ravan, that she could be or she is the queen. Someone wrote procrastination as another form of Maya. Now comments, there is a hidden game within a big game. Man with many heads.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
So nice to know there is this game going on, and once you understand the game, then we get into the spirit. Yes, I want to win this game. So we might as well understand this and see it as a game, and we play to win. But let me draw attention to one more thing here. This game in one sport, and that is boxing. There is also a game. There are winners, there are losers, there is a draw. This happens in most games. But in boxing, there is one more result. What is that? You all know the boxing in the ring. There is one more result. Winner, loser, draw. There is one more result.
Getting knocked out.
Yeah, that result is knockout. And what happens when we use the word knockout? Person becomes unconscious. You see boxers, they are holding their gloves hands near the head because part of the skull, that is soft on the sides, that is not hard. Front of the head, it is hard bone. At the back, it is hard, but side, it is not hard. and one important artery goes in that area, the side. And if a boxer hits that part of the skull, with a force, that artery goes into spasm and person becomes unconscious. And it is allowed in boxing. That they are teaching each other how to do this, make the other person unconscious. And when the person is knocked out, he does become unconscious, sometimes just few seconds. So referee then counts up to 15. And if he's still not conscious, then game is finished. Then ambulance comes and stretcher comes. And what happens if a player is unconscious? He doesn't even know that there is a game. That is the problem. Unconscious means that he doesn't know that there was a game. He doesn't know the enemy. He doesn't know the player friend when he's unconscious. He thinks about something else. Even when someone asks him, what do you want? He says, oh, I want something. He's into different world. He doesn't even know that he was playing the game just now. So here, if any of these siddhas don't even know that they are in the game, this is a serious game here. There is a Ravan, the enemy, such a demon, trying to make you unconscious. And Maya, these are like a demonic, players trying to bring maximum problem. They are in this, they are playing game with you. And if someone in your town doesn't even know that there's a game going on, he's busy planning his New Year's party and then busy with his work, and there is no thought about this game, it means he is unconscious. At a deep level, soul is unconscious. The player is knocked out. Zombie player. And when he is unconscious like this, he remains totally slave to Ravan. Ravan does whatever Ravan does, asks, he's working for Ravan. No questions even. He thinks that is the success. To give Ravan what he wants, that is his idea of progress and success. Such is the situation. We said that the swing of all of us, human beings, we are extremely noble and divine. That is the word. We said our truth is beautiful and it is positive. It is highest. That such is the life. Supersensuous experiences. But the swing, it goes into extreme darkness. Ravan, demon, and degradation and the sorrows, and this becoming unconscious to our becoming zombie. Such is the swing that happens to human souls. So that is the reason, when Sita is unconscious, that in the story there is a term, and that term is called Sanjivani. And the Sanjivani is a mythological herb that can revive one who is unconscious. In the mythology, it is a mythological herb that can revive the dead. Have you heard this word, Sanjivani?
We've all got the link.
Yes. So this is a herb that can revive the dead. You get it in a health food store in Manchester. No, that is a joking about that.
Is it really a herb though?
In the story, it is a herb. What is the true Sanjeevani? Do you want to tell? What is the Sanjeevani that can revive the unconscious Sita?
Um, Soul, someone's written. Is the herb something that helps the soul? Awakening is Sanjeevani. Bring something that brings one to consciousness. Knowledge.
Yeah, ultimately, the spiritual knowledge. In other words, even in the world of spiritual knowledge, there are so many books. If you go to some, you know, bookshops, there will be hundreds of books on God and hundreds of new books on happiness, hundreds of books on enlightenment. You will get all this. How do you know which of these is Sanjeevani? You can read them and study them. Which one is Sanjeevani? How can you? Is there some mm, guidelines, discrimination? How do you find out which one is Sanjeevani amongst them?
Yeah, the self-help section.
Yes. So there is lots of self-help section. So how do you know which one is Sanjeevani?
Remember something that helps us remember who we are and where we belong to.
Yes. If the Sanjeevani, if there is Sanjeevani, then Sanjeevani necessarily means you come to understand the game. If Sanjeevani has worked, you will understand the game. Sanjeevani necessarily means you recognize the enemy. Without knowing the enemy, you can't just win. That confused state, you can't just, if someone goes to war and doesn't even know the army opposition, they can't just win. You recognize the enemy properly. You need to know your friend. Friend wants to help you. And zombie Sita doesn't know the friend. But here you recognize the friend. What else? If Sanjeevani has worked, you will know the game, you will know the enemy, you will know the friend. What else you will know? From that you can know, okay, here is the Sanjeevani.
If you experience peace, Sita
Yes,
experiences
agreed. Still one more.
freedom, power. She gets power. Her original qualities.
You will recognize the self. Sita is the queen, and she is sort of behaving as if she's a slave. So she will wake up to realize that she's the queen with Ram, like Ram, and with that self-respect. And she doesn't need to be the slave. She will wake up to this. If she thinks she's the slave, well, she doesn't need to play the game at all. She's just be a good slave. But if Sanjeevani worked, she will wake up to this. It doesn't mean that she has won the game, but she wakes up to understand this. She has understood here is the game, here is the enemy, here is the friend, and what is happening. She has understood the picture. From zombie Sita, she has become awake Sita. Now the game starts. So far there was no game. As was said, Sanjeevani is a very necessary thing for the Sita to become conscious. Without that, there is no chance of winning the game. But now that she has woken up and understood the game, now the next step is how to win the game. How? Have you got a strategy that will help Sita win this game? Do you want to tell? What is the strategy for Sita to win this game? She has understood now this game. Very happy to, you can, those who got a very clear strategy, you can give your names. You will get a prize if there is a good strategy, because this is such a big program for the world. World need to know this program. So if you got any ideas in this, they will be appreciated and deserve a prize also. Even before the big prize of winning this game, you will get a
Yeah,
prize for the new year.
yeah. When anything that comes up, do share. It's quite a thing. Using tact, decision, and experience, keeping the 5 minute practice, persistence and determination, showing her true identity or experiencing it, not being a slave, and self realization through meditation and not following Graven. Never cross the line. Play the game in Ram's kingdom. As a Noah, dodge Maya.
Yeah, very good. We all need to look at this. This story, we need to revise it again also. To like right now, we got an overview of this, but when you go over that story again, you will find it, knowing it is at a personal level, just to see how it applies to the self. Then you will take more benefit from that. But right now, let me come to this subject. What is the strategy required to win? Now, let me come one step behind. Sita was unconscious. And I say boxing player in a ring, unconscious. Is it easy for him next round? He wins, he defeats the other player, he's in knocked out. One round he was knocked out. Next round he can just go and win. Is it possible? And of course it is possible, but to make that possible, what is required? For Sita to one round she's defeated in a badly. For next round, for her to win against this bad demon, what is required?
Determination,
Okay.
consistent effort builds up inner power to have clarity when Maya wants to play on you and the ability to stop it. Comment.
Yes. Okay. Now, one thing, at this point, I will just share these two things. In this, let me hear some other answers.
Recognizing Maya, awakening fully and remaining awake, being alert, using concentration, being tactful, feeling fully secure.
Good. Very good. Now, I'll just touch this two areas. You need new factors. Like say some war. So one is defeated in a war, and next day he is to win. He need to have more information, new information, and in this new information, he need to know if there is any weakness of the enemy. That he need to know if he is to win this war, and he need to know his own capacities. What is his strengths? He need to know the weaknesses of the enemy. These factors have power to change the game. Now, with knowledge, here Sita realizes Sita is, you know, in this game. She has got Sanjeevani. She has woken up. Now she realizes that Ravan is dependent. Ravan is showing this big form, sort of all this monster bringing fire and smoke, but he's dependent upon the supplies. He needs supplies. And it is possible to stop the supply. Like say someone has got some special jets, bombers, but it needs a certain fuel. And if you stop the fuel, he can't use those bombers. It is a bit like that. If you stop the supplies, then each head of Ravan is totally dependent upon the regular supply. And if the supply is stopped, then it is a big success there. That is one thing Sita need to realize. And her strength, she realizes, what is the strength? She is invincible. No one can harm her. She is beyond harm. She is immortal and beyond harm. These two things Sita need to know. Ravan can create smoke and fire, and Sita is frightened and accepts defeat. Here, Sita realizes that Ravan can bring smoke from the nose and smoke from the ears, but that smoke will become less, as Ravan becomes smaller. But Sita is beyond harm. No one can harm her even the slightest. These two areas. Once she understands these two areas, she can now go for the next step. What's the next step? Find out who is supplying Ravan. Who is supplying Ravan? She just need to stop the supply route. Who is supplying Ravan? You want to answer?
Ego, but Sita is.
Sita is the only supplier. Ravan is ego, but Sita is the only supplier. All of this makes Sita, brings Sita in a very powerful position because Sita now is able to stop the supplies. And once the supplies, weapon supply is stopped, the person has to accept a defeat. In military, it is called laying a siege. You stop the supplies to a country, then that country has to accept defeat. So here you stop the supplies to Ravan. Sita now realizes she just need to stop the supplies, and Ravan becomes weaker. So whichever head, for example, head dealing with cigarettes, you stop the supplies of cigarettes, you know that head will become smaller. Like amongst your friends, there may be some who were smoking cigarettes. They have stopped smoking for 1 week. You know, he's a winner already. He can spoil it, by himself. But Ravan has already become weaker by he is stopping for 1 week. He can now just continue with it, and that Ravan will disappear, bit like that. So here you stop the supplies of any head of Ravan, Ravan will become weak. The next step, stop the supplies of thoughts, because thoughts are also another supply. Like, for example, I'm not smoking cigarettes, but I'm thinking of cigarettes. I'm thinking of my experiences with cigarettes. That is enough to keep Ravan alive. So if you stop the supply of thoughts as well, then that head of Ravan will become unconscious in 3 days. It's a 3-day money back guarantee. You can take on any head of Ravan, stop the supply of thoughts, and all other supplies for 3 days, and that head of Ravan will become unconscious. That is a big success, one demon less in your system. Doesn't mean it is gone, but remains unconscious. It is not creating problem to you. That is itself good news. Now the question, okay, you want to stop the supply of thoughts. How? How can I stop the supplies of thoughts to Ravan? There is sometimes the cyclic of thoughts going on.
Um, go into silence, be aware of your thoughts, and using the power of having a choice, change your attitude.
One nice program here, keep the mind busy with Ram. And mind is like that. Mind, the idle mind is the devil's workshop. If you keep the mind, no job given to the mind, then the 10 heads of Ravan, they are all waiting to use the mind. And they will keep the mind busy. So you beforehand create a program for the mind, keep the mind busy with Ram. And what does it mean with Ram? Like the knowledge of Ram. We are now discussing this knowledge. If you create 1 hour reading about it, reflecting on it, right, taking notes, revising your notes, that is 1 hour used for Ram. You create thoughts about what the soul conscious state is. All of that is like you are using paras. All of these helps to prevent Ravan using the mind. But in principle, understand you can keep the mind busy with Ram. And if you are keeping yourself busy with Ram, Ravan cannot use it. Big success. If you have that perseverance for the new year, this time season, you can get rid of any head of Ravan that you want. Starting, it is such a beautiful time to start this process. And that head of Ravan will become unconscious. But then that gives you confidence. I can take on other heads, any head. And as was said, even one head less in the system, there will be so much peace. One demon less. We have the now knowledge how to remove Ravan from the system. You also know if you stop the supplies, Ravan will start banging table. Because Ravan is still there, and so he will. As long as the slave is obedient, Ravan is peaceful. Slave is not obedient, Ravan will show his color. But Sita knows she is immortal and she's beyond harm. So Sita can hold the line regardless. She knows beforehand Ravan will create more smoke and bang the table. But that smoke will continue to become less because Ravan's head continues to become smaller. And it is the program for victory. Just want to say, during the Gandhi's movement, Gandhi's policy against political, in political strategy, not just non-violence, but love and non-violence, but non-cooperation. Political strategy was non-cooperation. Certain policies are not good for the country. Certain policies are not good for the majority of people. So we are not cooperating. He brought the victory by that. Just non-violence would not have brought victory, but non-cooperation. Here we are using that same program with Ravan. We understand that Ravan's presence is not useful to you, not useful to the world. We want to stop cooperating with him and be really stubborn in this and don't, you got every reason now. You got all information why you will be winner and you can stop the supplies to Ravan stop cooperating with Ravan. I will stop here. If Sarah want to add anything, and then we can take the break also.
Enjoying the atmosphere of awareness that's created with this story that we can instantly engage with and also find benefit in revision because there's so much depth. And you can see from the chat, someone's written, sometimes old heads are forgotten over months and even years, and then they head can arise again with full force. So it's giving a kind of a map, but also strength. Once it's seen, then Zeta has so much power. There are questions, just acknowledging them, and perhaps when we've had a chance to have a change with the room break, we can come to those. One question to discuss could be, what inner games do you notice within yourself? And what would help Sita win over Ravan? Prashant, do you want to add anything or suggest anything else?
Yeah, this is good. One other question is, what is the form of Maya you observe in yourselves?
The forms of Maya you recognize, okay?
New Year's, what is the inspiration for the New Year's for the New Year?
Not new Maya, but new inspiration.
Yeah.
So great. So we'll just put that in the chat, and we'll definitely come back and revise after the break. Enjoy the discussion and see you very soon. Warm welcome back. I do hope everyone had time and such a rich topic today to create a minute to go into the experience of that reality of Ram and Sita together. Thank you. So I know that there are some outstanding questions, and it'd be good to hear your room discussion if you would like to share. Just the highlight from here that Sita has limited cards. Sorry, Maya has limited cards, and that's very encouraging. That the more we are introspective, we get to observe that. Although Ravan can create new heads. Thought that was good to note. And also that revising knowledge of Ram, it's keeping the mind busy with Ram, also experiencing that through meditation. But the knowledge feels, if we're busy with Maya telling us we're busy, we can switch it. And it'd be good to hear more about these strategies as well. Some highlights from the rooms, just seeing in the chat, and wonderful discussion. It was over too quickly. Creating sacred space where old thought patterns can be observed, focusing on the empowerment of the beautiful true self. And the idea of stopping the supply of Ravan was very helpful. Having awareness, recognizing there is a game, it's very profound, rather than blaming situations or others. So thank you so much for the sharing. Do keep them coming. And meanwhile, welcome back to Prashant.
Yes. So, and welcome back. Happy to deal with any questions.
Has the story already been written? Because things we want don't always happen.
This story of our story, bigger story, is that the question?
I think so.
Bigger story, we will be talking more about it. I think in this one of the future sessions, extended course.
Yeah, the follow-up we can
follow-up sessions.
Okay. Could you say a bit more about the Raz, the secret significance, I think?
Yeah, it just means there is the story, but it is secret in a story. The game, not story, the game that is going on, it is so secret. And so you need to be a bit clever to understand that there is a game that is going on. Subtlety, to grasp the subtlety behind this. And that game is very significant. So that word Raz has got its two meanings. It is secret and also significant because it decides everything about our existence here. It appears some are lucky and some are less lucky and some are not lucky at all. It appears like that. But here you realize we can, it is in our hand how we play the game. And we can be lucky and we can make others lucky.
Someone is asking, is the Sita perspective like Sana and in Pali? I don't know if you're familiar with this.
Possibly some other story. Best is not to mix this, to see this whole knowledge also independently. There are other ideas and other, but they are not the same. Other metaphors, other stories, they are not the same.
It's good. Actually, that's all the question so far. Lots of really good
Excellent.
comments.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I will come back to the story again and just some other areas to address. We understood how to stop Ravan, and we said stop the supplies. That is like a essential strategy, and to put it into practice. And it may need some effort, but this is the minimum effort we have to go for if we want to gain big victory. So the prizes are so big, so it is worth doing that. Now, other area we need to address, other player is Maya. If we just work on Ravan and ignore Maya, then it is not a victory either. So we have to address Maya by its, on the other front. And we saw that Maya's one big card is everything is difficult. Getting up in the morning is difficult. To create 1 minute time is difficult. Everything is difficult. So that is what Maya says. It is difficult. Internally, we have to say, what does Ram say in this situation? What is Ram's, advice? What is Ram prompt from Ram? Ram says, what does Ram say? Maya will say everything is difficult. What will Ram tell you?
Easy.
Ram says it is your freedom is natural for you. In a Raj Yoga, it is called easy Raj Yoga. So everything is easy, and you will notice that moment you say it is easy, things become easy. So all of this is in connection with gaining victory, and overcoming Ravan. Ravan and Maya will say, to change it, it is difficult. But you find, no, to win is easy. To remove whole thing is easy. And it will become easy. Ravan says, and Maya says it is you are weak. You have to ask, what does Ram say? Ram reminds you that you were like him. You are like the queen, with Ram, like him. There is no difference between Sita and Ram. He reminds you that you are very strong. In Sanskrit, the word Shakti is used. Shakti is a goddess that rides lions. So, this term gets used here. That if you are riding lions, if this is what the part you have played, uh, you are not weak. You can do anything. Maya will tell you that do it tomorrow. You are not in the rush. So later is the prompt from Maya. It is a nice program. The message from Ram is now or never. Why do I want to delay Ravan given by 1 second? Why do I need to keep anything of Ravan? So you say things have to change now or never. Maya will come with different excuses. And what will Ram tell? Ram says, use the brain to think of solutions. We can use the brain to think of excuses. For everything, you can see why I can't do it. This kind of Maya is busy thinking what can be clever, argument here. But if I want, I can use the brain to think of solutions. There are difficulties, of course. Nothing is straightforward, but there are solutions to everything. Maya will bring doubts. That is the job of Maya, to create doubts. You may be very clear, tomorrow it will create doubt. What is the program from Ram? Ram says, don't wait for the doubt to come. Beforehand, go into such depth that you are so sure about everything, every aspect. Become so clear and bring yourself to the level of certainty, and the word is sure. Become sure about every aspect of knowledge. It is like, if I can see this computer in front of me, no one can create doubt in me that there is no computer, because I'm so sure it is there in front of me. In the same way, every aspect of knowledge, go into the depth. If your questions, ask them until you feel it is black and white. It is so clear to you. That is good positioning. Not to generate doubts unnecessarily, but any genuine questions to get them clarified. And that is foundation. And doubts, there is no time, no chances of doubt can come in the future. So every form of Maya, we said Maya has got limited cards. Use the antidote, an antidote from Ram for each of these, and then Maya's trouble will stop. Then you are on the path of victory.
Someone's written not just thoughts of Maya, but there can be strong, overwhelming feelings of heaviness or weakness. Any comments?
Yeah, as Ravan becomes smaller, all these feelings will continue to become less. In this whole game, Ravan is absolutely, represents everything that is unpleasant for us. And that's something we do not like in ourselves, we do not like in anyone else. 100% of the time, it is Ravan. Ravan is like the seed of everything that is ignorance, bondage, sorrow, sin. Ravan is the seed of this. Sorrow, pain, you know, and misfortunes. Ravan is the seed. Everything that is right and good, Ram is the representation. Ram is symbol of everything, and wisdom and truth, and what is positive.
That's
So as
interesting.
Ravan becomes smaller, all of this, whatever we do not like, some days like a heaviness, sometimes someone has got anxiety, boredom, all of this continue to become less.
It's interesting what you just said. There was a comment. Sometimes Maya also helps situations to work in your favor for your good. Is that, how would you respond to that?
Maya is enemy. So first to know that, and an enemy is enemy. Given the chance, it will take others into complete degradation. That is the that is the position of this enemy. You know, so but we see it as a chance to score. Enemy comes, but we have the opportunity to score. So we are not frightened there. In that sense, it is right. We are not frightened. Enemy. Enemy comes. We know the game, and we can get score. We get more runs.
Thank you.
One thing for us to know in this, any game, we said there are winners, losers. You win this game. You win the game. There are prizes, and the prizes are of all kinds. Like in other sport, you will get a gold medal, you will get a silver medal, Here, the prizes are in the journey of the soul. Your births are with golden spoon, and your in it, the you will be lucky, but lucky can be at a disproportionate level. Such is the option at all levels. Your mind is right, but it will reflect through at all levels. Few powers we need in this victory. Those who those who have decision, we said Sita has to take a decision. The one who can, it is not one decision. Decision is ongoing. Maya will come in different form, Ravan's different heads. You need to take a decision, refresh your decisions. So the more you are having this ability to decide, you are a winner. If someone is taking a wrong decision, that also happens. That you are not be a winner. A uh, huge positioning. The decision power in it can take you in any direction. Those who have discrimination, I don't know if it is understood the right way in all places. Means it is almost like a doctor need to a few clues you get from the patient. From the few clues, you need to come to a quick conclusion what is happening here and how to treat the person. Same here. In our lives, there are some clues. We all the time get clues. Based on that, you have to come to the clear understanding what is happening. Some thoughts come. You need to know this is thoughts. This is coming from Maya. This is going to Ravan's stomach. If you cannot discriminate it, then the Maya gets chance. The Ravan can win. Those who have determination, they win. Any country or any army that is determined, mm, it is likely to win. Sometimes there is no war even. Someone is so determined, then others will say, don't even go there. It is a bit like that. Those who are not determined, then others can come to create problems. It's an army that has determination that wins. Army that has discipline, that army wins. Hmm. In this case, we were saying if you create this program every day, you are create a discipline. Just like we have discipline to brush your teeth or certain things about shower. In the same way, you are not going to miss this ever. Uh, Reviving the soul, on a daily basis, creating time, maybe few times in a day. If someone has introduces that discipline in his life, then he will win. This is a someone who has less discipline, then there is less chances of victory. Any of these qualities, they bring us victory. What do you think is the another power we need? We say decision making, discrimination, determination, discipline. Any other? Five, we want five altogether.
Dedication.
Yes. Yeah, very good. Dedication is a good one. And another, if you have a very clear destination in your mind, if you can sort of grasp what your victory, future, if that is your destination, then destination guides you. A player, he knows where the ball should go. He got a goal, you know, and the goal post, the very clear focus. Then everything takes him in that direction, and he solves problems. Someone is blocking, someone is pushing. He solves it all because he has got a destination very clearly. We all need to get our, you know, go through each of these area and check your destination. Is it clear? What are disciplines we can introduce? These are all winning strategy. And so to give it some attention. And it is a good time for the New Year's, to start New Year with the victory positioning. We got the different clues, different skills and powers for the big victory, and good omens, positive omens for the new year. So
Absolutely. And what she just said, there was a chat, very powerful chat comment, a realization from the discussion that the person was still thinking of the past rather than about what I want now. And so this destination is very nice. I think spiritual intelligence aspect is not being dictated by the circumstances of the past, but led by a vision of the future. So really great to have these awareness of these powers. And these are decorations of Sita, playing with the letter D. I know we've come to time. There are a couple of quick questions. Shall we bring them now?
yeah,
Um, so Ravan is like our base desires, and Maya is like our rationalization of those desires. Is that correct?
the desires are coming from the identities. So we see Ravan, the seed of those desires is the identity. Ego is Ravan. But yes, Maya is working for Ravan. Intelligence in Ravan's administration.
And a question, what if we have past traumas that we've not been able to heal yet?
Yeah. As we see here, everyone has got some past. Not to focus too much in that area at the present time. You see the bigger map, you understand the story, and that is not our story. You realize you're flying beyond all that. And you realize story, the dragon comes, dragon goes. In the past it became a huge trauma, dragon. Dragon comes, it is a trauma, dragon goes, another trauma. So here you understand it is a story, and your focus now is on something, another level altogether. Invisible player is, his world is different world. It was all hidden. Now you discover this, truth about true self. So the game changes. That heals the traumas. That is the ultimate healing of the trauma.
Thank you. Very empowering. So there aren't any other questions. Anything final you would like to share for this year, actually?
Yes, definitely this story needs revision. And we got a written version of this. You might get some link to this to read, revise.